Alright, so this is round 3 of the league that I played. I Googled my opponent's name and I don't remember seeing anything. So I figure this is a pretty decent hand to keep against just about anything. It, yeah. It does turn out that my opponent is on Dimir Shadow. Here, let's take a look at that. So I grabbed the counter spell because the rest of the cards don't seem too bad for me. Yeah. So opponent doesn't seem to know what I'm on yet, so I'm hoping that they consider and get the wrong card. Unfortunately, I do not get a shredder there. That would have been awesome. So I grabbed the bobble, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yeah, look at the opponent's top card, and I see that they're going to be stuck on one land, unless they drew a land, which I don't think they did. So I thought seize. And I take the stubborn denial. Let's see. Tidebinder's the top card. So I'm really hoping for a lock here. I choose to play the bridge, knowing that my opponent does not have a way to counter it. And I don't mind if they counter one of my lanterns. So, yeah, this is all good. And I hold the needle because I don't know what I want to name quite yet. Yeah, there's a Bowmasters. Okay. So I play the needle. They let it resolve instead of using their counterspell on it. And I name the Flooded Strand. So I can keep my opponent off of the 3rd mana. And really I'm just hoping to draw a Mill Rock soon. I do think I make a mistake here. I think I grab a, Shredder. And I cast it and they counter it. Really, I think what I should have done is grabbed an Urza Saga. But my fear was they were going to draw a 3rd land and they would be able to Tidebinder the Saga. They end up not drawing a 3rd land though. And so they thought seize me, which is a little weird, knowing that I have 0 cards in hand. But that kind of puts them on the shadow. Now with their shadow list, I'm pretty sure their only answer to bridge is Odawara. Yeah, this time I grabbed the Saga. And I figure if I see a land on top, I can make them shuffle or I can trophy their land. Yeah, so here I trophy their land. Um, and they do draw the 3rd land, which is not that bad. So now they'll have a Tidebinder for my Saga. Yeah, they go to fetch. I make a dude so they can't counter that. So here, I think I could have played that better, but I don't think it matters. I could have let them try to counter the Saga thing, and in response, make the dude. But they have so much removal, I don't think it matters. Here, I grabbed the Drawn in the Lock, I'm trying to get rid of their counters. Doop. Unfortunately, I got another Saga on top, so that's going to let me get a Mill Rock through. Yeah, get my second needle. And now I name Polluted Delta, so I can restrict their ability to fetch shuffle their top. In hindsight, probably what I should have named was just Otawara, because I think I would have just won the game from there. Yeah, they have fewer cards in library. It would have just won the game. Yeah, grab the shredder. They're gonna burn up all of their creature removal stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that's really gonna be it for this game. Uh, they have a lot of fetch lands in their deck that are just gonna do nothing. Yeah, and this is how I find out for sure they're on Shadow. Yeah, I can pay the 1. And my opponent does decide to force me to play it out. I think they're trying to hope that I'm just going to burn up my clock. It's not going to happen though. I'm just really keeping them off of instant speed. Draw, just in case. They do have the Otawara in their deck, but Otawara is not going to do anything. Now that I have 2 Ensnaring Bridges out. I don't use the Pixis here because that's my only Glimmer Void. I want to be able to use Academy Ruins. There is a Shredder in my graveyard that I forget about for a while here. And there's the Otawara. And really, that's game. I can't remember if I... Yeah, I forgot the Shredder again. This time I actually remember the Shredder. So that's 4, 5 Mill Rocks. They have 7 cards in deck. And they're gonna... I think this is where they decide to actually scoop. Oh no, they do actually, and they force me to make them die. Okay. Game 2. Can't really keep this hand, I don't think. Not a one-lander. This hand seems a lot better. I do have the discard half the lock, and I do have a removal spell. So, yeah. Interesting to me that they decided to take the Shredder instead of the Duress. So, I play the Shredder first. In hindsight, it might have been better to play the Duress. And I don't know that blind milling them was actually a smart idea there. Yeah. So I see the Consider is really the only spell I gotta worry about. Well, the only spell I can grab anyways. I figure they have one unknown card. What are the chances they have a counter? And it's 100%. So in hindsight, it might have been better to wait for a discard spell, but who knows? Yeah. And next card was, discard spell, so that would have helped. So now I'm hoping to be able to sack my Shredder to get a bridge back, or draw a bridge and duress and force a bridge through. Yeah, now things are getting rough. I decided to trophy that thing now, and I'm just really hoping to draw a bridge. So here, in this game, I might have won if I had waited for the discard spell. So I go ahead and duress just to get information about how they sided against me, because I know I'm dead on board anyways. Play the lantern, and I let them draw, and I mill to try to get information out of their deck before I die. Yeah, and I don't really get any new information. So we go to game 3. So that mistake of not holding the bridge until I made sure it resolved. I mean, I guess, what were the chances they had exactly counterspell, but oh, let's pause this. Crap. I should restart there. Okay, can't keep. No lands. It's okay. The Shredder and the Baubles let me control my draws. Yep. And I do have removal. I do have to worry about Bowmasters with those Baubles, so I gotta use them smartly. Uh, I don't use one immediately because I don't want my opponent to be able to discard a card from my hand that I want. Now, my opponent did put 2 cards on top. They drew one of them. The second one might be something they want. I don't know. But I'm more concerned about trying to assemble the lock. And I'll just discard what I need. So I don't need a Gardens. I mill myself because I don't need a Ruins. What I really need is just a bridge as fast as possible. Fortunately, I do have a Profane Tutor there, which is almost as good. Yeah. Go ahead and try to draw out a counter here. This time I don't cast my bridge into a counter. It's still trying to remove their threats. Because I'm betting that they have a counter. And they do. So 4 cards left in hand. I go for the discard. I'm like, okay, so that's 2 counters. What are the chances they have another one? I do have some time though. And so I go for it now. And the reason why is I can go for it now if they counter it. And really, I could have done it last turn, but I wanted to make sure I had the 5 mana for the Shredder before I just did it recklessly. Um, and the opponent's clock is slow enough that I can still sack Shredder, get it back, and hope they don't have another counter. So now all I'm doing is hoping they don't have Otawara. And from what I saw, they only had 1 Otawara in their deck in game 1. So I grabbed the Gardens because that's going to be able to copy Bridge. So now I'm pretty sure they don't have Engineered Explosives. So they have to have like something like Hurkyl's Recall or something. So I'm pretty confident that this game is won. Yeah. I'm okay with Engineered Explosives on 1. It doesn't really do anything. I'm just going to start blind milling my opponent now. Yeah, look at my top card. Blind mill them. I want that Saga because I want the Lantern. And it turns out I just drew a Lantern instead. And the opponent kind of sits on the explosives for a little bit. Yeah, get rid of the Tidebinder. Yep. Get the other explosives out of their hand, which they can't put it on 3, so I know I'm safe with the bridge. Their hand is not great against me right now. And like I said, this game should be pretty much won. I go ahead and sack the Shredder. Get back the Gardens so that I can copy. Yeah. I still have enough mana to copy the bridge if I need to. They have fewer cards in their deck, and the win should be inevitable. And now I think what they're doing is they're trying to time me out. Unfortunately, this computer does take forever. Even though it's supposed to be a gaming computer or whatever. I don't know if it's the connection or what. Yeah, I grabbed the Saga so that way they can't counter my, whatchamacallit, my Shredders. Unfortunately, I do already have 2 Shredders in the graveyard. Yeah, so they go for the Otawara in hand, but it doesn't matter. I grab another Saga so they still can't counter. Yeah, get the Shredder. And I am running low on time, but they only have 18 cards left. Get another. No, the needle on Otawara. Yeah. So now I can freely mill my opponent, and I can just copy the shredder. I do keep one gardens open just in case there's some random stuff that I don't expect. So here, I think my opponent is trying to time me out by making me have to click through these, but I auto yielded to all of these triggers. And the opponent finally concedes when they realize that they have 12 cards left. So 1, 2, 3 plus their draw, that's 4. They have 3 turns to live. They have no cards in their library to win. So not too bad.